When it comes to getting a new phone, you know at some point someone's going to ask you, what can your phone do that my phone can't? And most people's answer to that will be something like this.
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
And that's exactly what you're about to do in this video. You're about to find out. Here are the first things to do and fun things to try on your brand new Google Pixel device. Okay, so the first fun feature to try on this phone is within the Google Camera app. So we'll open this up. When you open the camera app, you'll notice this little camera icon up here with a little AI sparkle next to it. This is what's known as the camera coach. So it will guide you through composing a better photo using AI. So I'll just do a quick demo of this. So line up a photo that you want to take and then hit the camera coach button at the top, and then it will scan what it can see and give you some options here, and it will actually ask you, what do you want to take a photo of? So here are the options it's giving me: desk buddy, desktop scene, also we've got creative gear, and then we've got robot and pins. So I'm going to go robot and pin, and straight away it's recommending that I take this photo in landscape. So that's the first step. Now we can hit the next arrow and look at the second one. So zoom into the robot and pin. So that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to go to the next step. And you'll notice the next step is usually highlighted in blue when you do this. So now it's asking me to get the camera eye level with the robot itself. All right, that's pretty much eye level. I'm going to hit next. Now it's suggesting to reframe and center the robot and the pin. So that's what I'm going to do. Something like this. And next. And we're all set up and ready to take the photo. So this is the photo that I got using the camera coach. Of course, if you're taking landscape shots, portrait shots with people in it, then it's going to give you different kinds of tips, but just be aware of how to access the camera coach. It is within the camera app and it's right here at the top. Okay, here is another camera tip for you guys, and this is a fun one to play with, especially when you're taking photos of your friends. So if you go into the camera app, to make sure this feature is enabled, set this to photo, not video mode, and then go to settings. Here you can go to the three dots, top right corner, and just double check that auto best take is on. Now I've got to show you this cringe-worthy photo that I took earlier. Okay, so as you can see, I don't look very pleased in this image, but moments before, I actually was. And you might find that you've taken photos of a group of friends, and some people smiling, some people aren't smiling, but in other photos, vice versa. The people that were smiling, they're not smiling anymore, and the people that just realized you're taking a photo, now they're smiling, and it's all a big mess. Well, here's how you can fix that. If you go to the edit button at the bottom of the photo and go to actions, here you'll discover a bunch of really useful tools. And if we just scroll across a little bit, you will find the best take. So if you tap on this, this analyzes the faces in the photo, and it can be more than one, but in this case it's just me. And it will suggest the best face for the photo. So here's one where I'm smiling, here's one where I'm kind of half smiling, and here's one where I look really pissed off. So what you can do is go through each person's face, select the best one, and then hit tick, and there you go. Now you've got the best take from that moment in time. Another little addition to make sure you're capturing these fleeting moments. If you go back into the camera app again, go back to the settings over here. There is a feature here called Top Shot, which essentially captures a few frames before and after you take a photo. So you can move forward and back in time just a little bit. Just make sure that this is switched on. Okay, here's something fun to set up on day one when it comes to actually improving how you use your phone as an actual phone. So to do this, go to the Contacts app, the official Google one. Choose a contact that you want to customize. Go to that contact, and then you should see this little banner here. Try adding a calling card. If you don't see that, you can hit the little pen up here. But I'm going to go try adding a calling card. Now I can actually take a photo of that person if they happen to be in front of me, or I could use a photo from the gallery. So I've chosen a photo for that particular contact. You can customize the font right here, and you can even customize the color of the text, how it appears. Just make sure that it stands out nicely from the background. So that's the background for the calling card. Now we can set up a picture or a portrait of the person as their main sort of thumbnail, so to speak. So I'll go with the moody looking picture from earlier. You can add other stuff like their email address, their birthday, their actual address, and even add a label to groups of friends if you want to. And that's it. Once you've done that, hit save. Now you've set up a calling card for that person. So now that that's been set up, whenever you receive a phone call from that person, you will see their calling card with the custom text. And it's just kind of a fun thing to do for your friends and family. So each person has a unique setup. So this next one is a brand new feature on the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. and it's actually in the form of an app. It's called the Notebook LM. Now, this is very interesting. So if you open this up for the first time, you'd have to run through some stuff. Essentially, think of this as a scrapbook or a research notebook that actually uses AI to provide you with interesting insights. For example, if you go to create new, you can upload a PDF, a website, a YouTube video, or even just text that you've copied from somewhere on the web. Just for demo purposes, I've added one of my videos from last year. So at the bottom of the screen here, we've got the source, which is the video. We've got a chat here, which AI has kind of generated. Now, where it gets really cool is if you go to the studio, it's created a kind of conversation using AI about this video. So literally you could just put your headphones on and listen.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're diving into something many of us are likely holding or maybe thinking about getting.
At this point in time, to me, it seems like it could be an incredibly powerful research tool for pretty much any topic you can think of. So I highly recommend you take the time to set up Notebook LM on day one. This is a real power tool that's installed by default and free to use, so definitely make use of it. Okay, there's an awesome feature on this phone that's already switched on by default, but there is a way you can improve it even more. The feature I'm speaking about is the now playing. So if there is music playing around you, it will actually show you what track it is at the top of the screen if it recognizes it. Go into your settings, wallpaper and style, more lock screen settings, and right here is where you will find the now playing section. If you tap on that, and enable the enhance now playing. So this will harness Google search to find these tracks and even in some cases find the artwork for the tracks as well and do it more efficiently. This is off on day one. I highly recommend you switch it on. And one of the cool things about this feature is, let's say you were out during the day, you heard a song that you liked, but you didn't really pay attention to what it was. You can actually bring back the history of now playing right here. So if later on that evening you're like, what was that song? You can come back here, tap on this and find out exactly what it was. And you can even add it to your favorites right here. All right, here's another fun app that you can play around with to kill some time and maybe get a few laughs out of. If you go into your app drawer, you should see an app called Pixel Studio. Tap on that. So this is Google's own generative art app. And here's a few demos that it's already created for us. And you can see these are actually pretty good. If you want to create something from scratch, just go to create at the bottom here, type in exactly what it is. For example, a devil dog that likes to destroy socks. That is surprisingly accurate. I can't tell you how accurate a life like that is to me. Here's the real world version. Once you've created a piece of art, you can download it, you can share it, you can copy and paste it into an app or anything like that if you want to, and you can even set it as a wallpaper. There's also the option to edit the photo, and you can keep going with this. You can even use more generative AI to add things to the image. You can add text to it, add stickers to it, crop it into a different size. It's essentially a photo editor for AI artwork. You can also add photos to this. For example, this one right here of the actual devil dog who likes to destroy socks. And you can add things to the image if you want to. So it's changed the facial expression on the dog. And actually that looks pretty realistic. And using this little button right here, you can create stickers as well, which you can use across various different apps. Now this is an old trick, but it's a very, very useful one. So let's say you're on YouTube, you found a really, really useful video like this one on the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL that I made last year. If you invoke Gemini, there's a few ways you can do it. You can do it with your voice, or you can hold your finger down on the line here, or you can hold the power button down over here. When you do that, you'll see the option down here to ask about the video. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to ask it to summarize the highlights. And you'll notice it accesses YouTube directly because it is Gemini. It has access to all of that information.
This video provides a comprehensive guide to setting up and customizing a Google Pixel phone.
And there we go, it's created the highlights for this video, and it's even given timestamps to jump to specific points in that video. So I'm sure you can see how this could be incredibly useful. Okay, here's another use case for Gemini. Let's say you're researching a complex topic, something that's kind of hard to understand, and you want to kind of get a better grasp on the subject. What you can do is wake up Gemini, tap share your screen with Google. You will have the option to choose entire screen or app if you are using a specific app. This essentially creates a conversation with Gemini about what you're looking at on the screen.
This is so cool. It looks like you're looking at a comet. Are you interested in learning more about it?
Yeah, tell me about this Webb Space Telescope.
The James Webb Space Telescope is an incredibly powerful space telescope that allows scientists to see farther into space than ever before. It's giving us amazing new insights into things like the formation of stars and galaxies. Would you like to hear more about what it's discovering?
No, tell me about this photo right here. What's this all about?
Sure. This is a composite image showing the location of Comet 31/Atlas. It was compiled from observations taken between January and May of 2020. The comet is the bright streak moving across the frame. What else would you like to know about this image?
No, that's all right. What about this one here, this interesting picture? What's this about?
That's an image of Comet 3IATLAS, taken by the Hubble Space Telescope. You can see the comet's solid, icy nucleus releasing dust, which gives it that teardrop shape. The blurry streaks are background stars, and the comet is the brighter object in the middle.
So you get the idea. You can ask it pretty much anything about what you're looking at on your device to learn more and accelerate your learning. So not so long ago, I was in an Uber and I was explaining to the Uber driver that you could use Gemini to simply have a conversation and even create reminders and all this kind of stuff. And he was completely blown away by it. He didn't realize how much you can do with it. Well, if you're quite new to this stuff, you should know you can actually use Gemini to go through your Gmail and find important information. For example, let's say you've booked a flight. What you can do is, wait, Gemini, can you find my upcoming flight information in my emails? It accesses the Google Workspace to scan through your emails and it will bring up relevant information. So yeah, you can use Gemini across different apps to do different things, create reminders, set timers, and even scan through for emails. Another power user tip and something to play around with on day one is the AI writing tools. So when it comes to writing anything, for example, the intro of this video, what you can do is highlight the text, and on the Google keyboard, you will see the little sparkly pen in the middle here, just above the top row of letters. These are your writing tools. Here you can proofread your text, you can rephrase things, you can make it sound more professional, more friendly, or even add emojis, which is something I like to do with social media posts. If you've just got a really short sentence, but you need a few more words, you can get it to elaborate a bit more or even shorten. So when it comes to any kind of writing, if you want a grammar check or you want to improve, lengthen or shorten, just be aware of where to find the AI writing tools. All right, here is another incredibly powerful research tool, and you might already be familiar with this if you've used previous Pixels, but if you're brand new, you're going to love this. So let's say you've been researching something on Google Chrome. If you open up backgrounding, you have the option to screenshot, and that's pretty standard stuff. And there is a dedicated screenshot app, which we're going to come back to. But it's this that I want to show you, the select option. So if you tap on this, it will scan that page and allow you to extract specific parts of the page. For example, this image right here. So if I hit save, that's now been saved as an image, which I can access from my photo library. And you can do this even if that image isn't clickable. For example, here, this isn't a web page, this is within a different app. If I go to select, I can choose the image right here, save it, and now that image is available in my photo library. That's definitely not the best take. Okay, here's an exclusive tool that I've not seen on any other phones other than the Pixel. If you swipe up from the bottom, scroll through the apps, you will find the Thermometer app. This uses the sensors on the back of the device to scan the temperature of various things. For example, objects like a drink or even body temperature. You can link this to the Fitbit app, which Google now own, and it talks you through exactly how to do this. So this could be useful for you if your kids are saying they're ill, they're trying to get some time off school or something. You can give them a quick scan with your phone, and if they are bullshitting you, you'll know. Okay, if you're a gamer, you're going to love this. There's some hidden tools for gamers. If you swipe down from the top just a little bit, you'll get the little pad icon pop up just here. If you tap on that, here are the gaming tools. So depending on the game you're playing, you will have optimization, achievements, and leaderboards. And at the top here, you can activate the frames per second counter, which actually appears just here at the side. So you can see how many frames per second you're getting as you're gaming. The do not disturb. You've also got the shortcut for recording, which can be here, so you can record the best moments. And then you've got the screenshot feature as well, which can be pinned here at the side. I have actually been looking for a game where the optimization shows up. Let me know if you find one. I have to download the Genshin files, but they're so massive. I'll have to do that later. Okay, so I want to show you a couple more camera tricks here. So I'm just going to go to a photo I've just taken just now this one right here. So here I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to go to actions. What you might see when you first use this is purple dots next to these tools. This indicates that you do need to download a pack of information in order to use these for the first time. I've already done that. So check this out, the magic eraser. If you tap on this, it scans the image for things to erase, and you can just circle around or even brush over things. So I'm going to circle around this white thing right here, which looks horrible in this image. It's selected it, and it's even selected some of the shadows, and I'm going to erase it. There we go. And it's done a fantastic job of that. So I'm going to save that one. That's kind of an old trick, and there is some new ones here on this phone. For example, the zoom and enhance. This, of course, works better when you're taking photos of things further away. In fact, let me do that right now. So believe it or not, this is actually quite far away from where I'm sitting, and I'm really, really impressed with how high res this looks. I'm just going to go back in, go to actions, go to the zoom and enhance, and let's zoom in and enhance right here, and crop and enhance. There we go. That's the after. That's the before. I'm sure you'll be able to take some photos from a distance that will demonstrate this much better than I just have, but just be aware of how to do it. Okay, here's a nice feature to switch on day one. Within your settings menu, scroll down to system, and then here, scroll down again. And on this page, go to gestures. So here is a super useful feature to switch on. It is the flip to shh. So if someone is phoning you, they're blowing up your phone, what you can do is just flip your phone face down, and that then mutes the call. You can tell them, talk to the table. Okay, here's another tip, and this one really could be an actual lifesaver. So within your settings, once again, if you go to safety and emergency, and here you'll notice the crisis alerts are switched off. So if there is some kind of major disaster, I'm assuming you probably want to know about it. So you might want to switch this on. All right, here is another feature that I recommend you switch on day one. Within the settings menu, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you will see digital wellbeing and parental controls. If you tap on this, if you hit the three dots in the top right corner, you can join the beta program for this app if you want. But what I really want to show you here is a feature that, like I said, could save your life, and it's the heads up. So if you are the type of person who walks down the street using your phone and you're constantly looking at your phone, you might not be looking around and you might not notice the bus that's about to hit you. So if you switch this on, this will just give you periodic reminders to keep an eye out on what's going on around you when you're using your phone whilst moving. Okay, here's a really useful audio trick for you guys, and this will help you fine tune how you receive audio from your phone. So if you hit the volume rocker right here, you'll notice you get this little icon at the bottom. It'll be three dots if there's nothing playing. This will show you your volume slider, but it'll also give you the spatial audio options. So you can switch this on and off at any time. This is really good for movies and watching things on your phone. It can also improve how music sounds from time to time. And there's something else that's really cool here. It's the live caption. So if you do have something playing on your phone, you can caption it even if it doesn't have closed captions. The first time you use it, you do have to give it permission and download the pack. So in this case, the English pack. And once you've done that, whenever you're watching something and you activate the live captions, you can read what's being said as opposed to having to listen to it. If you go into the settings right here, this is a shortcut to sound and vibrations where you can access the spatial audio settings, and you can choose whether you want that spatial audio feature to kick in for the phone speakers and wired headphones, or just one or the other. Okay, so thank you for making it this far into this video. This is actually part 1 of 3. The next one's all about customizing the phone like a pro. But before you go and check that video out, here's a few bonus tips for you. So next time you're researching something on Google Chrome, but you haven't really got time to read the article and you'd prefer to listen to it, you could of course add it to the Notebook LM, but there's also another way that you can listen to this audio without having to run it through the AI. If you hit the three dots in the top right corner of the Chrome browser, on the right side, you'll see listen to this page. This will then read out the website to you through your headphones or through the speakers on the phone. And even when you lock the phone, it continues the track. So you could listen to some stuff whilst on the way to work or at the gym or whatever by simply turning a web page into an audio track. Here's another little bonus tip for you guys. Let's say you do have some audio playing in the background and then you get in your car and then immediately it jumps over to the car's audio or a Bluetooth speaker's audio and you don't want it to. All you need to do is bring down your notification shade, and here where it says this phone, you can tap on this and you can actually switch between the different sources here. So you can switch it back to the phone or to a specific device if you want to. Okay, here's another upgrade, the voice recorder. I have it right here on the home screen because it's super, super powerful. This has now got a brand new upgrade. So just like before, you can record meetings and lessons or anything you're listening to, and it can then transcribe it and you can summarize it later, extract those bullet points out of it and then turn it into your own homework. That is still possible now. But there is this other new feature, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I would personally use it, but it is here. So let me show you. I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to go to the recording. In the top right corner, we've got the 3 dots. I'm going to tap on that. And right here is where you'll find the brand new feature. It's called Create Music. So this kind of creates an AI backing track to your recording. I guess if you want to record some kind of a podcast or something like that, this could add some nice atmospheric music to it. So we'll go chill beats, for example, and just hit next. It's actually analyzing the recording to select the best track for the recording. All right, let's hear this with the chill beats. Upgrade. So just like before, you can record meetings and lessons or anything you're listening to, and it can then transcribe it and you can summarize it later, extract those bullet points out of it and then turn it into your own homework. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It could be a great way to create some audio content if that's what you're into. Okay, here's another really well hidden trick on this phone. On the bottom of your screen, you'll see the Google Lens icon. That's the one that looks kind of like a camera. If you tap that and choose one of your screenshots, just for example, what you can do here is copy the text from this screenshot and then hit the 3 dots on the right hand side and then copy it to your computer. So this will allow me to copy from my Google Pixel device to my Apple Mac computer. And you know, Apple don't like people infiltrating their walled garden. Well, now you can do it, but it does mean you have to have Google Chrome installed on that computer. This also applies to Windows computers and anywhere else you can install Google Chrome. So now if I just tap select, I can go to Google Chrome on my desktop and paste that text. So on that note, that wraps up this video. If you want to learn how to customize the Google Pixel like a pro, then check out part 2 of this 3-part series that's on screen right now. If you found this one valuable, let me know in the comments. If there's any tips that I should have added that I didn't, also let me know in the comments. And I appreciate you guys for watching this long. If you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. And if you just subscribed, I will see you in the next one. Don't be late.